They have a majority stake in so many things
Wow.
that they sell at their own venues. It's money on money on money. It's called the flywheel in business. It means that the more dominant I become in one area, I just take over every other little area because there's nobody else that can compete. It's a major problem.
Hi, and welcome to Bring It On Studios. This is Girls Gone Gritty. I'm Farley Boyle, and I'm with my two besties, Jen Berenius and Darian. Ladies, how were your weekends? I was in good old Nashville.
I was in Gainesville.
Both Villes, but I'll tell you what,
And I,
Nashville, Nash Vegas, wowza. 2 nights of that, and you are done.
I was in
Put a what is it? A fork in it. I was done, but it was so great. The music was so epic, and we walked away with a fantastic win. So it was a very successful weekend for us.
Well, I had parents' weekend down at University of Florida. I have two boys that are there, and it is a nonstop drink fest to the point where my kids and I kept trying to figure out things that we could do to not go to the bar tab as early as everybody else because it just wouldn't stop. So we actually
back
took
to school, Rodney Dangerfield style.
We took in a little bit of men's tennis, which was super fun. Saw some 13-5 players. I don't know how the singles ended up, but they won the men's doubles, which was super fun. And we saw a baseball game, and they crushed it in baseball too. So
God, Florida crushed it last night in swimming too. The men's,
yeah,
wow.
They've been a powerhouse. They've had a good season. It's been a lot of fun, but wow, it was a lot of drinking. But so I'm happy to give my liver a little cleanse today.
See,
I love it.
How's your liver?
My liver's actually pretty good. We were in Burke Mountain, which is really north. It's like the Northeast Kingdom almost, at a Super G race. So it's a combi. It's a GS and a Super G combined. So it was really fun to watch all these little kids do a speed event for the first time. Some first time, others they've done it a lot. So all the parents are at the bottom going, oh my God, I hope they don't crash. It's the fastest you've ever seen these kids ski. So it was really fun. And I saw some of my old ski coaches that are coaching. So it's being in this little ski racing world.
How'd our girl do?
She did great. And she really had some guts because it was a really, really, really fast course. So Super G is the event right under downhill. So there's times you're in a full tuck going as fast as you can, but you have to turn a lot. So she charged it and she came down all smiles on her face and she goes, Mom, that was the most nervous I've ever been in my entire life. I was like, how did it feel? She goes, awesome. I'm going up again for my race run. So it was fun. The kids are pushing their limits and being an athlete, as we all are, watching your kids, as we all know, just having the courage to go and just charge it. I'm like, mommy's nervous at the bottom. It was fun though.
That's so fun. And the conditions are good up there this year. You guys are having great conditions
it's the best. So girls, when are you coming skiing? It's my question.
I'm going to Telluride on Thursday. So I'll be skiing out west on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So
okay. We'll share stories.
Yeah.
That's a little better.
I don't ski during lacrosse season. It's not fair to my girls, so they can't ski. So it's been a very dry ski season for us for years. But
one of these,
plan a VT trip. I think Girls Gone Gritty is going to go on the road, right?
I was going to say one of these times you have to come out for an event to Vermont, and we will make it an event.
Pray all day.
Yeah, a pray all day.
Pray all day.
I'm just getting over my liver. Give me some time.
Well, so that will bring us to our awesome gritty headlines today. Jen, what are our top 5?
All right. Number 5. Are you afraid? Do you have FOBO? Do you even know what FOBO is? You probably don't. It's fear of a better option, and it's taking over from FOMO, which I didn't realize has been around since 2013. It was added to the dictionary, but fear of a better option. You have people that can't even make a decision as to what they're ordering for lunch because they're thinking, I'm liking what she's having.
FOMO just feels better coming off of the tongue. But FOBO, oh God. I mean, if you can't make a decision, uncle, if you're looking for a better option and that's why you can't make a decision, then you suck. And FOBO, I do feel sorry for the people that can't make decisions. I do have some friends that it's a real disorder. When they really get pushed to the gun to make a decision and they can't, it's crippling. So I feel sorry for those FOBOers. but FUBU, FOBO. I mean, God, what is the
FOBO.
FUPA?
Yeah, no, but FOBO, think about it. When we were out nightclubs, there was always a better club that you wanted to go to. Fear of a better option. You're like, wait, we're dancing, we're raging, woo, you're pounding cocktails. And then all of a sudden you're thinking, oh my gosh, we're not at that club because that club has a better DJ. Or wait, where we need to go to that one. So we're constantly running around, all of
FOBO,
us.
FOMO
Yeah,
combined.
it was a mix. But this is crazy. There's fear of what? Come on, just make a decision and go for it. I'm the worst decision maker in the world unless there's something that I really, really want to do. Then I'll make the decision. If not, it's whatever. I have FOMO all the time. So,
Well, Girls Gone Gritty wants you not to fear. And number 4, we want you to not look up. So number 4, are you guys tired of hearing about this asteroid that keeps coming? That's the risk of hitting Earth has just doubled. I mean, it's a joke when you start to read the headlines, guys. It was a 3% chance of this asteroid coming in 2032. And they've like had the headlines for weeks about this crazy asteroid. I mean, really? What else?
I've seen it.
Create fear in people.
I keep seeing like, where they do a rendition of it, like, coming into our atmosphere and then hitting the earth and how like everything explodes around it, like in slow-mo. I don't know what they're trying to do. I mean, maybe their occupation doesn't receive a whole lot of exciting news.
Yeah, and they don't have to be that right because the weathermen aren't right. And they're trying to figure it out for tomorrow, let alone in 2032. It's ridiculous.
Totally. That's a pretty far, like that's years away. Anything can happen, but it's just something to get you thinking and start talking about, oh, the asteroids. I mean, that's one of my favorite video games was Asteroids growing up. So
oh my God,
just
that brings us
think about it.
Not yet.
That's going to bring us to number
3. How's your gut biome, D? Probiotics, prebiotics? Do you have any more biotics, bionics? Coca-Cola just entered the hot prebiotic drink market. I mean, can they sell us one more beverage, please?
Soda is never going to be good for you. I don't care how many times people try to sell it to me. It's an inflammation. Soda water is inflammatory. No.
Sugar. And it's stevia. And they try to tell you it's stevia, so it's not so bad for you. Or aspartame, which is not good for you.
They're liars. The Coca-Cola company puts sugar in water, so you get addicted to it.
That's the Dasani water. Coca-Cola owns Dasani water, and it is the worst water to drink.
It eats
and
the
anything
acid,
having
the acid eats your teeth.
Yes, yeah, so Coca-Cola, you could take a Coca-Cola, and if you had something that was rusty, pour a Coke around the rusty item, and it literally eats away at the rust. Now, if I'm really hungover, there's nothing better than a McDonald's fountain Coca-Cola.
Agree.
A number 2 supersized, but they shouldn't be bringing probiotics. I need
what is
probiotics.
A prebiotic? What's a prebiotic versus a pro?
So a probiotic, they put all these microbes into your belly to try to kind of even out.
That's pro, but what's pre? This is what they're saying.
The pre is you take before you take the pro. It's like they have a prebiotic before you take meals. In the morning, you'll take a pre and you take it on an empty stomach. It takes like 30 minutes and then you can eat. And it tries to kind of regulate your gut.
Drink your soda before you.
Yeah, it's fiber. The prebiotics are like a little bit of fiber because now fiber is like the hot thing again. Like everything, it just
wake up and drink your soda, your prebiotic soda instead of water.
And they're lining their pockets.
Well, it helps your heartburn from pounding it like a Diet Coke in the morning.
Our number 2 leads us to another fun fact of our coffee house code of conduct. Starbucks is if you're in-house, they're actually going back to giving you a real cup. No more styrofoam cups if you're staying in-house. So they're trying to come back to an old school mentality of, sitting and having a cup of coffee for real. And I love this one. I got to be honest.
They sold it to us, though, in the very beginning, Wi-Fi free. They wanted everybody to come sit down with their laptops and camp out. So be careful what you wish for, because that was their business model in the beginning of time.
And it worked.
And it was,
but you can't go to a Starbucks and go, if you and I said, hey, let's sit down, meet you at the Starbucks, certain areas, every table's taken. You can't go sit and have a nice cup of coffee and enjoy a nice little wrap and
I see people getting interviewed there. Like
yeah.
I've seen interviews.
No, that's people's office because people work from home. So, oh, I'm going to go down to the coffee shop so I'm not in my house sitting looking at the screen because it's going to make you want to clean your house and you kind of lose track. But if you go down there, you feel like you're busier. But what's the time frame? Do they kick you out after an hour, 2 hours? I've seen people in certain Starbucks for hours and hours at a time.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I think that's a good one.
I think it is too. All
Yeah.
right. And number 1. Okay, guys, get ready. It's exciting. Or is it? They have a new Olympic event. Esports has officially been added to Olympic status. Starting in 2027, it'll be held in Saudi Arabia. And games like Pokemon Unite, Gran Turismo, eFootball series are on the docket to be played. They haven't come up with exactly what games are going to be at the Olympics, but the preceding events leading up to those, the types of games that are going to be. So our digital age, Ready Player One is here, people.
That is disturbing. If gaming becomes its own Olympics, we have real problems. I understand people are skilled. I just saw a movie about, I think it's called Gran Turismo, where a kid like was the best of the best in this game and they actually hired him and he became a race car driver, like legit. So I understand maybe in that regard, if you suddenly become very good in the arena that you're gaming and it can, I don't know, give you the trajectory to actually make it a reality. I get that, but that's disturbing. That's just more time on devices and less time in the great outdoors doing anything monumental.
Yeah, but
gaming is a
multi-billion-dollar business.
Yeah, gaming is a huge industry. My friend Hillary Matchett, she owns a team in Florida, and a bunch of these so-called teams are with pro athletes own them, and they own these gaming teams.
Well, they're the face of it. NASCAR,
and they're right, but that's the thing. Why wouldn't you then? Okay, so it's going to go to another level. If you can take it to another level, I mean, they shouldn't really call it the Olympics. They should come up with something more creative and have it be their own,
Explain
rather
that to
than
me, guys.
rather than something that you're swinging off an Olympics, which is sports athletes. Here, your dark room. I mean, you're good at gaming, but what do you get? Do you get like tennis thumbs?
Maybe they would be really good at thumb wars. We could
thumb wars,
thumb war Olympic because their muscles are so built up in their thumbs.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't understand it, but you know what? To Darian's point, this is where we're going in society, and everybody's just looking to capitalize on the next market, and it'll be interesting to see what they end up putting in this Olympics.
It shouldn't be called the Olympics. It should actually be called like the International World Gaming's game.
Yes. Well, they have world championships of gaming. They have very high elite level gaming events.
Take the Olympics.
I mean, there's big stadiums filled, and they watch people play video games.
I know,
and
they have their own chairs.
It's addicting. It's a whole different world. It's a good sport.
Well, if you're a gamer out there and you're listening to us, I'd love to hear from you what you think about this e-gaming situation, because I honestly don't understand it. I did not grow up. I played Tetris, I think, for like a hot second. I was not a gamer ever in my life. My brother grew up with like the Nintendo gaming systems because he was a couple of years younger than me. But I do know that there are people that are very into it. And my kids, they'll game with friends, and it's very social according to them. They're sitting. My
friend's son makes a couple $1 million a year gaming. It's ridiculous. He has sponsors, and people pay so much money to watch him game. I don't have that much time.
Rubik's Cube, it's like Pac-Man, like people that figured out the code or whatever. I don't know. Well,
so what's the hot topic, this lady? What's our hot topic this week that we're talking about?
Our hot topic, believe it or not, is
Ticketmaster.
And
hate them.
No, but TicketBastards.
TicketBastards.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the monopoly effect and how scary it is that one company and Live Nation in cahoots basically run everything and have the rights to do anything that they want, which is never a good thing. So let's tackle that topic. And we hope that you guys want to weigh in on this because it really affects everybody's livelihood. It's not fair.
So especially the people who want to go out and see concerts and shows. And it's not just concerts and shows, it's any sporting event out there. You want to go to a Ranger game, you want to go to a Yankee game. They lure you in. And if you look at the face value, and by the time you process the whole entire charge with Ticketmaster, you're like, what are these hidden fees? Wait, what? How much is it? Oh my gosh. So
and it becomes so unaffordable for people that love an artist or want to go so badly to an event, a game, whatever it is, even Broadway ticket. You can't even get near face value unless you actually go to the original box office if they're still offering tickets for sale. But a lot of times what happens is these brokers scoop up 80% of the venue, or they own the venue.
No,
Live Nation owns the venue.
Right.
The stats are crazy on it. So not only do they monopolize the entire ticketing industry, and that happened about 10 years ago. I think that was 2010 is they had a merger. So to go backwards a little bit, everybody thinks that the Taylor Swift, because I did a little research on the Department of Justice's legal proceedings that they have currently
with the Eras tour.
But it really wasn't that. According to the old Department of Justice head, Attorney General, he basically said that they've been investigating this for a long time, because when Ticketmaster merged with Live Nation, they almost blocked it and then didn't, and told them that they needed to have a certain code of conduct in order to keep operating and not be monopolistic. But here's the thing, and I think we've covered this on our episode many a time. When you leave businesses to self-police, when money is at stake, they're not going to self-police and do the right thing. They are going to worry about their bottom line and their shareholders and everything else. They were given a really long leash. The Eras tour put them back on the map with Taylor Swift. But what ended up happening was they figured out that they wanted to be the end user of buying all this stadium. Did you guys know of the amphitheaters across the country? They own more than 60, and it's growing because they keep buying them up. They own 60 of the 100 largest ones. So they own them. And not only do they own them, they own the sponsorship, they own the licensing, they own what you buy in the stadium. I found out that Liquid Death that we talked about.
That water. Yeah, that's a great water. They do?
They have a majority stake in so many things that they sell at their own venues. It's money on money on money. It's called a flywheel in business. It means that the more dominant I become in one area, I just take over every other little area because there's nobody else that can compete. It's a major problem.
It's a huge problem, and it needs to be regulated. If they control the marketplace, they can do whatever they want, and no one can say anything.
Well, it becomes unaffordable is the problem. Like we go to buy Sabrina Carpenter tickets, and Jeff goes and he's looking and he goes and he's all right, I'm going to get these seats. And within 2 minutes of him not clicking the button, he has to refresh it. Obviously, the algorithms came in and it jacked the price up with, I bet everybody at the same time was trying to buy the tickets. It became unaffordable. And you're like, wait a minute, who's doing this? Is it a bot? What kind of algorithm? Like, how can you just go and get a ticket? I know when we go to see Donovan Frankenreiter or Whiskey Myers, and we're going to our favorite venue in the world, the Stone Pony, if you try to go buy a ticket online, all the fees add up. So it's better for you to drive 15 minutes, old school style.
We always do.
Go to the window, and you pay the $25. You get your ticket, you go home, and you're set. So who wants to spend that extra money, and where is it going? And the Stone Pony is one of the best venues in Asbury Park. It's where Bruce Springsteen kicked off his career, and it's one of my favorite venues in the country.
Yeah.
And
it's
real
there. You know, as much as
it's privately owned. It's privately owned.
Right.
And that's the problem, is that these small venues, they listen, the venues aren't easy to manage. I can't even imagine what it's like to try and get people to work in these venues, and you get the varying artists who bring varying types of crowds. It's not one size fits all for a lot of the venues, but the fact that they own everything from being able to produce, they're actually a producer in the actual event itself. When you start to scratch the surface on how monopolistic they are, from the ticketing to the artist relationship to the venue, you can't even compete. You can't even get in as somebody who wants to be in that business. They also are threatening other people that have been trying to get into this business. Yeah.
Strong arm.
I read one thing, how to fix the Ticketmaster monopoly. It does not sound like there's a Band-Aid for this, but it said a ban on Live Nation's exclusive contracts with independent venues that require them to take the Ticketmaster platform.
Mm-hmm.
So any fix that delivers permanent relief from monopolistic practices in the live events market will come from a structural remedy.
Yeah, they have to change. But they basically have to break it up, and it cannot be. And the other thing that I was reading is that they also have not been incentivized to fix their technical problem when it comes to purchasing tickets. I've had the same situation. I was trying to get John Mayer tickets for my son Kyle and I had tickets in my cart multiple times for much less than I ended up spending.
And how long were you in the queue?
And I got kicked out, and I was in
the queue.
I was in there right away.
Yeah,
and it's not. Not only is it not fair, but then as soon as you don't get the ticket and it's sold out in 4 or 6 minutes, which anybody who's big, they're all on the resale ticket,
right?
Like platforms for 2, 3, 4 times the cost, but depending upon the artist. So that in itself just demonstrates that that's not a me or a you. That's not a super fan that's buying tickets.
Bots.
That's a bot.
Use bots.
That's Oh yeah. No,
and these
bots.
Yeah, but these bots, like,
but it's their bots.
Buy a massive chunk.
Right.
It makes it difficult for genuine fans to purchase tickets because they know the algorithms and they know exactly what to do to monopolize ticket sales.
How about the day when you would go and you'd sleep out for a ticket? You'd go and you knew that your favorite band was coming to town, and you'd go to your venue and you knew that you could buy tickets at, I don't know, the doors would open at like 6 or 7 in the morning. You'd be, beach chair would be out there, and you'd have some beers or you'd have whatever, and you'd get in line. And you just wait, and the anticipation for you to wait those hours. It was kind of cold or it was hot, depending on the season. And all of a sudden, you'd see the window open and the doors would open and the lady was there taking your money. And that was your ticket to one of the best nights that you could have. Unlike, and you went through the whole kind of the whole procedure of waiting, and you touched the tickets and you felt them. Now they pick them up. I was going to say, and you have your phone and you scan it. But I used to like hold my ticket stubs and I'd put them into my photo albums.
One of the best things I've ever seen. True. If there are people that still have tickets, okay? I saw a bar recently and they took epoxy. They put all of their tickets, sports tickets, concert tickets, any ticket that really mattered to them, any stub, and they made it a part of their bar by putting like a shellac over the top of it. And it was like no one can do that anymore. You can't take a walk down memory lane because you have a ticket that was an e-ticket in your stupid phone, or you get a bracelet maybe, but you're not going to save your bracelets. Maybe you can frame your bracelets, but sometimes you don't even get a bracelet. Yeah. You just get a stamp or nothing.
Well, it's interesting. Shane, I told you I was at University of Florida this past weekend, and the kids actually, when the basketball tickets come out, that's what they do. And they were talking about how much fun it was that they like literally camped out and they basically did shifts, and they only give you a certain number of tickets. So if you're one person, you can have 2. And so they had 5 guys who were all rotating. So they had 10 tickets, and they were talking about how they were there at 11 o'clock and, had to spend the entire day trying to figure it out. And it was like hanging out with people and drinking beers. And I said to them, I said, that's how we grew up with tickets. All of our tickets were that way. It wasn't just one game.
Think of the name.
Art. It's a lost art that required you to truly be a super fan. And I do think it's completely unfair where it's gotten to where it's really pay to play in so many aspects of life already. And you have put it to a place where it's so cost prohibitive for a family of 2, not even 4. If mom and daughter or, dad and son want to go to a concert, I mean, a lot of these concerts to get a nosebleed seat is $300 minimum if you're lucky.
Gracie, who is it? Like Gracie Adams is this new singer. And you can't buy 3 seats. You have to buy 4. Yeah, it's almost, you have to buy them in blocks. So if you and your 2 friends want to go, you have to find another one because it's better to buy 4. And
the name Ticketmaster.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing. It's a monopoly. But you can wait and you could go clip a ticket and get it from one of the scalpers. We go to Ranger games all the time, and if you miss getting that ticket on like StubHub or something, one of the other kind of offshoot websites, just go straight to the gate and you're like, okay, where's my scalper? Okay, I'm going to wait till the puck drops and find someone who now is chomping at the bit to unload that ticket. Or the concert started and you're like, okay, wait, I'll give you $100 for it when you wanted 500 20 minutes ago. So it will never stop, and you want to see the show because you're there.
I wonder what the percentage is that goes to the artist. Like if the Ticketmaster cost is $300, is Taylor Swift getting 200, and then the Ticketmaster affiliate and all the people that work for them and however it's broken down get 100?
It depends on the artist. At least from what I was reading, it's very show and like tour specific, where they have a contract. They have a contracted rate for, let's say it's 80 shows across the United States or whatever, and then that artist gets X. And some of the artists do try and set the ticket prices to make it, for what they feel is correct.
They know what their bottom line is.
But after that, the most of the tickets, any of the additional fees that's all going to Ticketmaster scalpers. I was reading, there was just a court case in Canada, and it's a $6 million win. It's more of a moral win than it is a financial win, because each person that was part of this class action lawsuit is going to get $45 to spend at a future Ticketmaster event. But it was basically talking about what you alluded to before, which is called drip pricing, where you think you're buying a ticket for, let's just say $150, right? And then by the time you check out, that $150 ticket is now $275. Because of all these hidden fees.
Oh, yeah.
And they actually won a lawsuit because we've had a change of president. We've also had a change of the Department of Justice. This new girl, Gail Slater, she is leaning a little bit more toward business, but is still very antitrust. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the change of guard who started this lawsuit and where it ends up.
And then you purchase it with your credit card and you get tagged with a 3% fee.
Totally.
On top of, like, it's not like you can go pay cash for your tickets. So you've got to use your credit card. So then you're getting hit with the Ticketmaster fee and all the other hidden fees. And then on top of it, you're paying a big number because you're paying with your credit card.
Yep.
Well, it's also supply and demand. When you go and they release the tickets, Jeff bought tickets 2 months ago for a show in July, and he was trying to get everyone on the bandwagon, all his friends, and people can't pull the trigger that easy. And they were $200, call it. And if you looked now, they'd be at $500. So my question to you ladies is, what is the most amount that you would spend on a ticket to go to a concert? Yeah, what's
I like to go see festivals. I think it's a better value. And if you're going to go for an experience, I don't need to go to one artist who may come on an hour late and may only play a set and a half as far as I'm concerned, or I didn't love their set list. I've got a lot invested in one artist, but if I have an artist who I can see who they like, opening for them, and then 6 other artists that I've never heard of, I think that's more of a fun experiential thing. We have See Here Now here on the Jersey Shore. I've been to South by Southwest. I've been to Austin City Limits. I've been to Hangout Fest multiple times.
It gets you access to bars and bathrooms that are away from the GP. If it's a 2-day event, 3-day event, I'll pay $1,000. I would pay in that realm, because to me, that's worth it. If you have a viewing area that gets you a little bit closer, up front and personal, and you have access to, not be in mega lines, that's totally worth it. But we paid a big number, I think, for JT.
Yeah, it was like $500 back.
Like $500 to me. I would pay $500 if I felt like I had really good seats and I was going to feel like I was in the action zone.
Yeah, but I feel like even our $500 seats, I don't think they were $500 seats. I think they were like
standing.
$225.
$220 plus tax and fees.
Yeah.
Probably.
And it literally came out to like almost $500 once you were done with it. And that's the other problem. It's also the additional cost of, it's not just getting to it's getting to the show. And now you got to have something to eat, because, most people don't live 5 minutes away from these venues. It's a whole day. And I got to be honest, it's one of the reasons why, for myself and my family, we stopped doing like the Broadway shows, because it's a $2,000, $2,500, $3,000 day. Because if you're going to go in and do it right, you're going to do it right, and you're going to do it big, and that's it's a large chunk of change.
Yeah,
I want to see Adele. I would pay big money to see Adele, but then I'm also going to fly to Vegas and get a hotel and
Correct.
if I saw her in residency, something along those lines. It just really depends on who it is and where it is and what that dollar gets me, right?
Well, and I think, and they say
a
that
music festival is
COVID,
where
I
I
agree.
would spend the
COVID
most.
did that.
Yeah, Jeff, he always books the tickets.
Blame COVID.
And when he did Olivia Rodrigo and he gave it to Dee Dee and I for our birthdays, he said, I'm not telling you how much I spent. So I don't want to know. Jeff, he'll buy it. He's in charge because I don't want to know. But like, see here now, VIP all day long because you don't want to be in the pit if you can help it. So
Even those
But you
tickets
know
are
what,
impossible to get now.
but those are, well, Bruce played at
hard
See
to
Here
get.
Now last year, and within 5 minutes, everything was sold out. And I didn't want to go because it was going to be so crowded to another level. So I guess you pick and choose and you kind of jockey and decide if you're going to buy the tickets from the scalper, buy it from Ticketmaster, look for a deal, phone a friend to see if they have an extra one, or just farm it out or save your dollars.
You
Well,
definitely
super
can find
band.
a good deal sometimes on like Facebook Marketplace, depending on where you are. Suddenly life happens. Somebody can't go to a concert. They put their tickets up there, and that feels like the bang for the buck.
Yes.
Definitely.
So, ladies, I have our Got Grit winner of the week.
Amazing.
And I want to share it with you guys because I have been waiting anxiously since November for this. This is the most decorated skier of all time, Mikaela Shiffrin. She just got her 100th World Cup winner. 100 wins. It's unthinkable. It's remarkable. She's unstoppable. And she is the sweetest, kindest, most determined ski racer out there. There is no one that is even coming close. Lindsey Vonn is probably 20 races away, but she has battled through her career. She started ski racing when she was 16. She was on the World Cup in 2012. And now that she's older, I think she's 29, maybe 27, I don't know her age, dominated 100 wins. And in November, when she was at Killington at the GS, she crashed, hit a gate, went into the snow fence, and literally it punctured her insides. And she's been out, and that's how she went out. She didn't break any bones. And the determination to come back, to come into the game and keep her head in the game after so many bad injuries. I feel that she has got so much grit for everything that she has overcome to get that 100th World Cup win. So it's really exciting for all the ski racers out there and people that are like loving skiing, and for the cutest, kindest girl to set the stage for all the littles out there to just go, you're my idol. It gave me goosebumps. So she's refining greatness in the ski world. So it's really exciting.
Give up. She's got grit. She powered through her injuries, and that's something right there. It takes a lot of courage to get back on those skis and to rip and know that you could potentially damage yourself again, right, Dee?
Well, yeah. And the thing is, you keep going back. And she had a GS on Saturday, and I think it was the first time ever that she got top 16. She was super nervous, and everyone went, oh gosh, she's in her head. How is she going to do it? And literally came back the next day in the slalom, lights out, like a run that was flawless. It was jaw dropping. So as you ladies know, with any sport, injuries are the hardest thing. That's what separates you from being a pro athlete from like the regular person. It's the art of, okay, you're hurt and you got to go back. It's like your girls when they get hurt playing lacrosse. It's that when Mackenzie, when she did her knee, you have to come back. You have to fight. And your boys, Jen.
Simone Biles documentary, because she talks about the mental strategies and the tools that she was given from a therapist to get over that. And it's pretty powerful. So,
yeah,
gosh, Mikaela Shiffrin, you are an amazing gritter this week.
And I just looked it up. She's actually going to be 30 next month.
Thank you. I thought it was 29. Okay.
Yeah, she's going to be 30 on March 13th. So,
and she got engaged.
Happy early birthday.
Yeah, and she got engaged. So it's like everything
ahead of her.
I know. Super happy. Awesome. And she's still so young. So it's exciting.
Also have a very motivational song of choice that Jen is going to bring to the table.
Yeah, so this is going again a little deep. I like to go a little deep. It's one of my favorite songs. And are you ready? Here is the lyric. Never forget who you are, little star. Never forget how to dream, butterfly. God gave a present to me, made of flesh and bones. My life, my soul, you make my spirit whole.
I love this song, and I played it over and over for my little people.
It's one of my kids' songs.
Little Star.
Yeah. Little Star, Madonna. You know,
Love
she's
When she was
everybody
pregnant.
knows Lucky Star. Yeah, with her daughter. She had
Yeah.
a great album. So
love
that's
it.
the song of the week. Hopefully it's a little inspiration for you, taking you back to your glory days at some point. If you're not familiar with Madonna, she's, go deep into her catalog. She was pretty cool for some period of time. This was her yoga time.
Never forget who you are.
Oh, now we're singing.
Little Star.
Nice. So far, you got a good voice there.
Wow.
I love
that
it.
song.
So that's our music of the week, and we really want to impart to you to go ahead and let us know what you're listening to. Let us know what you think about this episode. Share it with a friend. Tag us on social media. We are looking to get other ideas from you on
Content,
what you
always.
let's talk about. Like us to debate.
And if you have grit, wear it on your chest, on your head. We've got a lot of grit gear for you to consume.
So thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Girls Gone Gritty, coming from Bring It On Studios here in New Jersey. And we're up in Sugar Bush, Vermont with Darian. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll hopefully see you soon. Peace out.
Bye.